Right.
Yeah,
It's
No
not.
this just
different spin. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I'm gonna take so is this really a new concept? Because you think about some people that are married and they don't stay in the same room. Like, and they make that work. But I agree with my fellow therapist sister here. Like, there's obviously some issues that people don't want to talk about, but I don't know that this is like a new concept, right? Because Big Mama and Papa, they've been doing that. They was living in separate rooms. They weren't sleeping together, and they made it work.
Well, the Bible
Not
said.
for me. That is not for me.
Well,
Mm-mm. I can't do it.
the Bible says it's not good for man to be alone. So I don't agree with it.
Not to
You
be
know,
alone.
Kelvin, I think this is the result of the participation trophy era. This seems like a participation trophy in relationships. We're in a relationship, it's non-traditional, but we're not living together. Therefore, we mitigate the challenges that come with a relationship that's more hands-on or tactile and more participatory. So this is the result, in my opinion, of that participation trophy. Yes, I'm in a relationship, but I don't have to be as dedicated or committed or put in the work that a traditional relationship takes. And you know what? It's the way I've been brought up. So we really got to blame the parents. That's all I got.
Blame the parents.
And
Wait, so
no,
oh,
go ahead, Dr. Hazel. No, you go, girl.
okay. So thank you. So
Blame
I,
the parents.
I blame the parents, but the parents used to be kids too. So then who else do we blame? But you're right though. I think what I think is if we're talking about married couples, well, if you're going into a marriage as a contract, of course you're going to do things like that. It's a contract. But if you're going with the idea of this is uh, a covenant between God and the two people, then it won't look like that. It's so are you making this happen because you like the idea of it, or is this really what God has called you to who to be with, to marry? If it's a covenant, it won't look like that. If you just for making something happen for the sake of it, then of course it's no different than now it's like a good thing to say I have a therapist. Yo, you're not even putting this stuff into practice. You just come to me every week for what? To say I see a therapist and you're doing the same thing. Like, what's the difference?
Wow.
You
Look,
can't say
look,
I
who
want to be in a marriage. I want a relationship. I want to be married, but you're operating as if you're single. Well, be single, baby. It's that simple.
look, who would have thought that saying I'm going to see I have a therapist would be trendy? Something that people say that, to seem like they up on things. Yeah, I have a therapist.
Hmm. And
You're not
speaking of
honest.
trendy, with going back to what Tiffany was saying, I don't think it's the concept is new. These names, the justification, all of these are new. And you're right. My grandparents, they live in a big house in Kansas City, and grandpa room is downstairs and grandma room is upstairs. But it did not start out that way. This is marriage over 50, 60 years where it probably just migrated. Things happen. Grandpa said grandma got too much stuff in the room and he want to go downstairs and have his own space. Right now, what's happening? This is off the gate. This is like, hey, we're dating, but this is the type of relationship we're gonna have. This new apartment ship. What's the new term, Kevin? We entering this new apartment
Yeah.
ship. So that's where the issue is coming right now, is that it's coming off the gate. They're not even waiting for 40, 50 years down the line to make these decisions and choices.
Yeah. Here's a different spin on it as well. I think this is kind of the result of people getting married later in life, right? You didn't have these things when you was 21 years old. When people got married when they was 25, and like you did they was this didn't even register. But when you're getting older and you over 40, and you're thinking in terms of assets, that statement about he got his house, I got my house, that's obviously somebody who's lived some life and have acquired some things. And I think part of the main part of getting married is to be together,
Right.
and it's coming up together. It's, having ramen noodle dinner, together. It's sharing a car. I'm gonna drop you off at work and I'll come back and pick you up, and you know what I mean? And so some of these things I think come as a result of like this newfound wealth that we have. Now we got lots of options, and
Mhm.
and some of these options we're taking now that didn't even exist before, but now they do because of the age that people are getting married, and let's call it the wealth culture.
Can I just call it selfishness? Like you're
Good.
selfish.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Being-
It
Because
could be a lack of trust as well. A lack of
lack of
trust.
trust, fear, because
You're
I
being
was going to say that's more
greedy.
of a financial burden. Living
You're,
apart is more of a
It is.
financial
Yes,
burden.
Yes. You got to pay
right.
you
2 electric bills.
and you're being greedy. You want your cake, ice cream, and everything in between. You're greedy and you're selfish. And again, that's more of like a business deal. That's a contract. That's just saying, hey, this piece of paper binds us, or our words bind us, and this is as far as it's going to get. But when it's a covenant, that's something totally different. You don't even operate that way. When it's a covenant between
Mhm.
you, the person, and God, you wouldn't even do that, because that's who
So
God
why,
assigned you, and you wouldn't consider it a sacrifice.
so why get married anyway? That's my whole
Right.
point.
Well, I was
You
just
should, you
thinking,
should,
why
you
do it?
shouldn't, you shouldn't even get married. If you want to live that single life until you're 90 and decide to get married when you're 95, then that's fine. But I don't think no one should get married and then live
Live
separate.
separate,
That
right?
that
But
just that just don't make no sense. I
That
wouldn't
defeats
sign
the
off on
purpose.
that. I wouldn't
but
sign
see,
off on that. Period. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it together and work on togetherness. Right now, social media has really killed a lot of relationships. These TV shows and all, to my opinion, a lot of people look at these TV shows and they take what they see, but not dealing with reality. So if you don't want to be married, then don't get married, because I'm not gonna live separate. That ain't gonna work with me.
No, sir. All
Absolutely
right.
not. I'm not
All
gonna
right.
want
Check
you.
this one out, y'all. We